The Roman Empire is back.
Did the big dog take back over his yard?
Rousey drops the title.
Is Rousey still going to Mania in the main event, or what?
The Shield is back.
I'm just questioning that, because I'm not so sure. I just don't know.
And party crashing at its finest.
Things happened that I was certainly not expecting.
All that and more when we return to the Wrestle Show. Wrestle Story. I keep doing that. Crap. Welcome back to the Wrestle Story, where we discuss all things wrestling, the legends of the past, the icons of the present, and the superstars of the future. We stream every Monday night after Raw, every Tuesday after SmackDown, every Wednesday after NXT, and then we also stream after pay-per-views, and then we stream on Fridays or Saturdays prior to a pay-per-view.
Also, if you're lucky, we will do some streams here and there during the week, depending on what is happening in the world of wrestling.
If you haven't subscribed to our channel, make sure you subscribe and hit that button for notifications.
Then you'll be notified every time we put up a video or we go live when we stream. Tonight, it is obviously Monday Night Raw. We are here to recap that. And wow, that's all I can say. This, wow. Wow.
Definitely wow. This is one of the better Raws.
There was so much that I wasn't, there were things I was expecting to happen, and then it just kind of, things happened that I wasn't expecting. So, I was shocked, to say the least.
Yeah, definitely. There was some, there's definitely, you said it, things that we expected, things we didn't expect, so they kind of threw a twist into some things. I think there's some things that they can still work on, but I think this is one of the better Raws in the last.
I definitely think there are some things that are brewing on the surface, heading towards Mania. I have some ideas as to what might happen, and some theories, and we will kind of get into those as we go on, talking about tonight's event. So, obviously, the big one was Roman Reigns. He has returned. It was announced on Twitter a couple days ago that he was going to be at Raw tonight. And so they opened the show with that. They first started off by showing his video back from October when he first announced that he had leukemia and he would be leaving to go fight that. Then after that, they brought out Roman Reigns. And the crowd reaction was nuts.
It was, and this was one of, like I said, this is one of the better Raws. They got it going right from the beginning. The fans were into it.
I think it was good that they opened the show with Reigns.
I agree. I definitely agree with that. So he comes out, he does his talking, talks about swinging for the fences, and then he states that he hit a home run. Then he talks about being in remission, which you have.
I can relate to being in remission. I have a chronic illness. I have Crohn's disease. And so, when you are told that you're in remission, it's a really good feeling. So, I mean, I know how it feels. So, on that level, I can really relate to him. And, super, super happy for him. Because not being in remission sucks in any sense, no matter what it is. So he talked about that. He announced he was in remission and that the big dog is back and he is here to take over. And he's ready to fight again. So,
Hi, Violet.
Hi.
One thing I thought he looked a little bit bigger. Looks like he's been hitting the weights.
Well, yeah.
A little bit thicker in the arms, a little bit thicker in the chest.
It was almost, it was six months ago, roughly, back in October.
Yeah, roughly.
6 months ago, roughly, that he announced that he was, leukemia had returned. And so, in those 6 months, if they caught it at a good enough stage, They could have knocked it out really early, and then he just got back to what his routine was and kind of just slowly going back into things. And then he was, I mean, obviously he was good enough to come back in 6 months, which is, I mean, great, you know?
Yeah, so, you know, it's good to see him back.
It is. I'm very excited to see what do they do with him going forward.
Yeah.
So as he was getting ready to walk out, well, he started to walk up the ramp, and he was like, you know, high-fiving fans and stuff, and then Seth Rollins' music plays, and he comes out, and he gives Roman Reigns a big hug, and then they just kind of stand there at the top, smiling at each other, and then I was like, okay, so are we going to see Dean Ambrose? Like, is Dean Ambrose going to come out? And then they, cut to commercial break, and I was like, I guess not.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes me think now, maybe he is leaving, and so they're not going to try and focus on the Shield as much as they are Rollins and Reigns together as a tag team. So then people don't get used to seeing the Shield again, thinking that...
Yeah, and I expected Dean Ambrose to come out too, so, you know, if nothing else, just because of the situation, everything that Roman Reigns has been through.
Yeah.
And so I kind of expected him to come out, and when he didn't come out, I was kind of shocked.
I will agree with that 100%.
So then we have the Ricochet and Aleister Black versus the Revival match. No clue what, you know... There were so many commercials in this match that I absolutely hated it.
Dean was also in, and it was his choice not to come out. Hi, Pro Wrestling News Central. How are you? Yeah. I mean, I don't understand why he wouldn't want to come out.
Well, me neither.
I mean, after, you know, Roman Reigns coming back from such a big thing, and they had worked together for such a long time. So to me, it almost doesn't make any sense as to why he wouldn't want to come out. Know what I mean?
Yeah, and unless, you know, he wanted those two to just kind of have a moment.
I guess. And I mean, if he's like, well, you know, I'm going to be leaving, so people, don't get used to seeing me with both of them.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to be this way.
Yeah, and that's possible. I mean, might have been the decision that if he's leaving, then, you know, not getting tied up with them right now
is probably a good thing.
So then we have the Ricochet Aleister.
It was better for the story that later unfolded when they bagged him, Dean.
Well, I definitely agree.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in just a minute.
Ricochet Aleister Black versus the Revival.
I put out a tweet, and I was like, 2 weeks in a row that the Revival has been beat.
Yeah, your tag team champions have been beat by both.
And they're the champs.
By both of the...
all 4 guys that are coming up from NXT.
Yes, the new NXT guys.
So what does that say about the Revival?
Well, what is it? The thing is they're not... There's no push in the tag team division right now.
No.
No idea why they're doing it this way. And then this match had so many commercials. I understand, you know, Roman Reigns coming out and took up some time.
It was I think 20 minutes of the first 20 minutes of the show.
That whole thing
without commercials or anything.
They need to figure out how to, if they're going to try and push these NXT guys.
Okay, so hold real quick. What I don't understand is with the commercial thing, SmackDown Live, they will do the commercial break where it's you still see the match on the screen, and then it's split to where you have the commercials on the bottom and the match on the top. So why doesn't Raw do that if they're going to do that on Tuesdays? And they don't do that for all the commercials on SmackDown, but I don't understand why not just do that, because then it takes away from the match and you don't know what happened while it was on commercial break.
Well, and then again, if you're trying to push these NXT guys and you have your tag team champions on here, you've just kind of thrown this whole match under the bus and said, here, you know, we're not going to show any of this. We're not going to promote any of it. It's a match we've thrown out there. The people watching...
Yeah, they're building Aleister and Ricochet as a tag team for the
I
Dusty
100%
Rhodes Classic.
agree with that.
Absolutely.
I just wish that, you know, if they're going to have them up on the main roster, then use them the right way.
Yeah.
If you're going to try and push them and promote them on the main roster, use them and promote them the right way.
And see, I don't understand what they're doing. I don't get what they're doing with the Revival at all. If they're supposed to be the champs and they won, then come Fastlane or come know if they'll make it to Mania as champs.
Again, I have no clue what they're doing with them.
I don't either, which is why I'm like, so like, are they going to lose the belts at Fastlane? And then are they going to leave? Like, I mean, I don't understand if they're putting them in these matches where, you know, if rumors were true that they were going to leave and they said, hey, we're going to give you the belts, but then after you get the belts, sorry, you're going to lose a whole bunch of matches, so then you're just going to want to leave again. The commercials were ridiculous. I hope Fox does a better job with that. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Too bad Raw isn't going to Fox.
So, I don't know. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. You're just going to put them in that same position where they want to leave again if you're just going to treat them the same way you were before they were champs.
Well, then you show Bobby Roode, and during the match, Bobby Roode and Chad Gable are standing in the back watching the match.
Yeah.
So I don't
want to see them as champs again, though.
I don't understand, you know, the whole I don't understand what they're doing with any of this division.
I don't either, and I don't want to see personally. I don't want to see Bobby Roode and Chad Gable as champs again. I want Batista to show up on NXT and cause havoc, sticking it to Triple H where he knows he will be watching. Dude,
that'd be awesome.
That is like a absolutely like amazing theory. Like that could totally happen. That would be super cool. Like, he just goes down to NXT and, like, takes out everybody.
Well,
and then, like, walks out to the ring and is like, you have no division now, Hunter.
Or take it one step further and have him show up on NXT and 205 Live and SmackDown, and he just wreaks havoc on all of them.
Yeah. I mean, just do it. Like, they're going to be leading. Man, I'll talk about this a little bit later, but, like, I foresee big things in the future. But SmackDown is so maybe they can put pressure on USA with Fox Network's superior coverage.
I hope so, because right now, the way, you know, there's too many. Like I said, this match was just. I think it could have been a good match. I think it would have been an awesome match to watch, but I was watching commercials instead of the match.
Yeah, it's just too many commercials.
So Aleister Black and Ricochet end up getting the pin.
Yeah. And they beat the Revival, which still questioning why that happened.
So it seems like everybody beats the Revival except for, you know, when they're...
You know what? The Revival could probably beat themselves.
Probably. Definitely.
And then they'd still be losers.
Yes.
So, I mean, you know, I don't even know. Fox is built for sports.
That's funny. Definitely.
Then we have a Baron Corbin interview backstage. Where, in Modern Family. So, backstage interview with Baron Corbin, and they're talking about, you know, Roman Reigns and his return, and how when Baron Corbin at the time was the Raw general manager. Or
Temptation Island, yeah, definitely.
I am so over those commercials. I am so over those commercials. You have no idea.
Yeah.
So they talk about Roman Reigns and how Baron Corbin.
We might have. I mean, you know, they could have put up like another 10 or 15, and
they could have. I feel like on SmackDown they put more Temptation Island.
Yeah, they showed quite a bit on there too.
So I feel like there's more Temptation Island commercials on SmackDown, and there's more like Popeye's chicken and who knows restaurant ads on Raw. They're just trying to get people to buy food. Is what they're trying to do. So Baron Corbin interview backstage talking about Roman Reigns and how he was the Raw general manager when he left, and the interviewer, I think it was Charlie, she said, you know, you said when he left, you know, I hope you fight this, Roman, but, you know, don't come back, is like what he said. And he was like, Charlie said, you know, how are you going to deal with this going forward if you run into Reigns, and what are you going to say to him? And he's like, I'm not going to say anything to him. I don't think I did anything wrong. So, you know, this typical Baron Corbin,
and maybe they're setting up a Baron Corbin, Roman Reigns storyline here somewhere.
Maybe they are, but, like, I don't really want to see it.
I don't either. I hope not, but, you know.
I feel like Baron Corbin has been used a lot recently, and, like, not in good ways.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of... So I'm just kind of over it at this point.
Yeah.
And I don't really want to see any more Baron Corbin matches, you know, at least for a couple weeks. They can do promos and stuff, but that's all I want to see.
A couple months.
Or a couple months.
Yeah.
Ric Flair's 70th birthday party celebration is brought to you by Temptation Island.
That's pretty good.
So then we have backstage for Ric Flair's party, and we see Shawn Michaels and Johnny Gargano. I'm thinking, is Johnny Gargano going to stay up on the main roster? Or because he lost the championship on Wednesday?
Well, they're definitely keeping him out there in the spotlight. I mean, without getting him in, in a match, they kept him in the spotlight here.
I mean, he was still there, so...
He was seen.
So that makes me wonder if he actually is going to stay, or if it's just, a short time thing where he'll be there for a while and then he'll go back down to NXT and fight for another championship, which I personally would like to just see him stay on the main roster because I think he deserves it. Have you seen the NXT spoilers? I don't think so. I don't think I have.
I haven't seen them. I decided not to go look at them.
Why?
Well, because I don't want to be spoiled by it, so I was kind of waiting to look at them.
About what?
I don't know, because it says NXT spoiler, so I don't read it. I
don't know
look
either,
at the information.
but now I want to know what it is.
So I try to wait and see.
But now I want to know what it is.
So then when the show comes, when we go to talk about it, it's easier to talk about it.
Man, but
rather
now I
than
want
me
to
sitting on it for 3 days.
Thanks, Pro Wrestling News Central. Now I want to know about it. Thank you.
Now you're going to go look it up.
Just wanted to ask before I ruined everything NXT. Well, great. Why can't you just tell us?
I'll close my eyes while he tells you because I want to be surprised.
What in the world? Yeah. I don't know, but now I want to see it. Now I want to see the spoilers. Oh, man.
Good, now you've ruined it for her. She wants to see the spoilers.
Why'd you have to do this? Why do you have to be a stubborn stick in the mud and say, I want to see the spoilers?
I saw they were up and I saw some of the stuff, but I kind of stayed away from it. So
now I'm going to have to go look them up.
I wouldn't see it.
Okay, so anyways, moving on, I guess, because we're not going to talk about NXT spoilers. They showed a Ric Flair birthday video from Snoop Dogg, and he just talked about, Ric Flair and wheelin' dealin'. Sorry, it's good though.
So Batista doesn't go in and attack everybody and destroy them?
Is that what you're saying? Or was that a underhanded spoiler? He said it, but then he was like, no, wait. Maybe they don't know.
So you spoiled it by giving us the story before you even said, have you seen the spoilers? Good job. Thanks.
So essentially it was Snoop Dogg, and he was just talking about the wheelin' dealin', however in the world, do you even know how it goes?
I don't know.
Wheelin' dealin', stealin'.
I don't pay attention to Snoop Dogg enough.
I keep thinking it's eyebrow raising, but that's The Rock.
Yeah.
It's some son of a gun.
Yeah.
Something like that. If you know the whole thing, type it, and then I'll say it. But if not, we're just gonna go with that. Three lines.
Yeah.
I know it's more than
that.
Good. But there's just too many to remember. So then we have Elias.
One of my favorites.
So even before Elias even gets a word out of his mouth, Lacey Evans, yet again, comes down and does her, and then turns around. What are we doing?
Lacey Evans versus Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania.
No. You're only saying that because you saw that.
On a tweet.
Yeah, you saw Wrestling Inc. tweet that.
Yes.
No.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing with her.
They can't do that, man. It's still going to be Rousey.
Well, then, if you have the Lacey Evans versus Charlotte, you get the match you want with Becky Lynch and Rousey by themselves. So you should be hoping for it.
But that doesn't make any sense, though.
Well, it doesn't make sense because we haven't.
Because how are they going to go for the title? Because Ronda Rousey is still the title holder. So what if she comes back? Okay, so what?
Is she the title holder?
I don't know. That's what is confusing here. I don't know because they didn't resolve anything. This is not the way I thought Raw was going to end.
Well, I don't think it's the way the whole thing didn't go. Hello, Bendy boy.
Hi, Bendy. How are you? So I don't know, but I don't know.
I don't know either.
Would the Raw Women's Championship then go up for grabs, and whoever wins the match is then the new Raw Women's Champion? Or are they going to pull a Ronda Rousey comes back, and they already have, like, a match for Charlotte, and Becky was arrested to take all speculation away from her attacking Flair. The Batista spot was originally for the man. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise. I mean, that's what we figured. That's, you know.
That's what I said. I've been saying that for the last week.
And, you know, well, I think we talked about it
Becky
last time you were
Lynch
in
is
here.
gonna. But my question through all of this is, where the heck was Charlotte Flair? Where was Charlotte?
Yeah, why wasn't she at the birthday party?
Where was Charlotte?
She's probably getting ready for SmackDown.
Probably. And then we're gonna see something go down tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean.
I wouldn't be shocked if Becky shows up tomorrow.
Oh, here we are. I got it. Charlotte Flair versus Batista at WrestleMania.
Oh. Well, this is what I originally thought when I first saw Batista. I was like, is he going to say something like, I was called in from somebody, and, like, you need to do this or whatever, or I'm going to, like, beat him up more and, like, reinstate whoever. That's what I was thinking at first, but then he, like, talked and stuff, and I was like, never mind. So, like, what if, this might be totally off the walls bonkers, but I don't know. What if Charlotte had something, I don't know.
Yeah,
what if Charlotte had something to do with Batista attacking?
Well, I think what's going to happen is Triple H and Batista are going to wrestle at WrestleMania.
That's what I was going to say later,
opinion.
But, you know, I don't know. I don't know what's happening anymore. Rousey, I don't know. I just don't know. After I watched it, I was like,
Yeah, you were lost. They threw a
I
wrench
was
in
pretty
there.
much off. Or I was
There
Becky and Batista for Mixed Match Challenge.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, dude, I would love to see that. That would be so good. Anyways, so Elias, we were talking about Elias before we went off kind of at Lacey Evans and Flair and Becky and Rousey, which we'll talk about later, I guess. So Lacey Evans came out and interrupted Elias before he even got a word out of his mouth. Lacey Evans' music hit, and I was like, seriously? Again? What are we doing? Like, I just don't know. I thought she was going to go for Asuka's SmackDown Championship belt, which would make most sense because she interrupted the match last week.
And how many people really have a clue who she is? Because nobody's ever seen her wrestle except
if
for
they
at
don't
the Rumble.
watch, well, and if they didn't watch NXT before, then they have no idea who she is.
Nope.
So, Lacey Evans came out. She went back. Then Dean Ambrose came out. And he interrupted Elias. And he says, all this celebrating has got him in a good mood. And then he says, I want to issue a rematch from last week with Drew McIntyre. This time I want no disqualification. Then I thought this was really funny. Elias then started to play his guitar, and Ambrose was like, whoa. You trying to cut me off here, man? You trying to shoo me off the stage? This isn't some, like, big performance. Like, what are you talking about here, man? Like, I was still talking. And so, Elias, I don't even remember what Elias said after that. But then I just remember Dean Ambrose saying, I'm a big fan. I didn't come out here to ruin anything. I'm a big fan. I came out to ask, I wanted to request a song. And then he started listing off a whole bunch of different songs, and then he said, Dirty Deeds. And, he was, like, air guitaring. And then, he kept talking, and then Elias, like, ducked and, like, turned around, and then, like, came at him with his guitar. And then Dean Ambrose ducked, and then hit him with Dirty Deeds. So I thought it was funny.
Awesome segment. I'm becoming a huge Dean Ambrose fan now.
I love this Dean Ambrose. This is what makes me so sad, is that, like,
and
is
Elias has always been one of my favorites.
Remember when Fandango, Lacey Evans, ran from Y2J, and it took weeks for him to make his debut at Mania?
Yeah.
So I don't know what they're doing with that at all, whatsoever.
It's the storylines being repeated over and over again.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's, kind of what you're seeing here. But I don't know, because they threw a twist in tonight that I wasn't expecting. So I know that they've made some changes with the writers, and maybe some of that is starting to show here.
Yeah, they brought oh my gosh, what's his name?
Shane Helms.
Well, they brought him in, but there was a big one. Bruce Pritchard, yeah. They brought in Bruce Pritchard. They announced that over this weekend to become like a head writer. So I mean, maybe that's different, but then they showed another Ric Flair birthday video. This one was featuring Ricky Steamboat, and it was like backstage, and they were just, it wasn't like one of those videos, but it was like, they was just backstage showing like the interviews and stuff.
Yeah.
Then we have Ruby Riott and Sarah Logan versus Natalya and Ronda Rousey. This match didn't even end like at all. Nobody was pinned, nothing. This is where Becky Lynch came out, so stay hydrated, kids. In the middle of the match, Becky Lynch comes out, and this time she's on one crutch, making progress. And she hits, Natalya comes over and is like trying to reason with her, like, hey, Becky, like, yo, you know, you're not supposed to be here, don't do anything you're gonna regret. And then she just hits her upside the head. Not with a crutch this time, so, you know.
So she's okay.
Natalya's okay. But then she went after, then I think Ruby Riott came up, and she, like, decked Ruby Riott. Yeah. And then Ronda Rousey, and she tried to hit her upside the head with her crutch again. So we were left with that, and then Becky was arrested and taken out of the arena, and I thought it was really funny. She was like, hey, be careful with these hands. These hands have to hold up a women's title belt. And I thought that was funny. So, you know. I don't know what they're doing with this now. I was like, oh, she's going to come and attack Flair. And then Charlotte's going to come out, and she's going to be like, get your hands off my dad. And then she was going to, that was like a really deep Charlotte Flair voice. I don't know what that was for. Becky did a signing over.
Hey, you got to do the story, so you know you got to make it look like you're hurt.
Tonight she was wearing a brace.
So you have to do, you know, the brace thing to make it be more dramatic.
I mean, I was gonna say I don't think this injury is like. I mean, I don't think it's like fake, but I don't think it's real either.
They're keeping her out of the spotlight a lot.
It's hard telling.
So there could be, you know, it could be a minor injury there, but
well, I know she said something on Twitter that, you know, something about the McMahons, and I'll be dealing with my knee forever, and something else. But I mean, again, it could have just been also she was wearing the exact same clothes. Ha ha ha. Yeah.
You made that comment during the show.
Well, actually, Mom said that. She was like, she's wearing the exact same outfit, and I was like, no, she's not. She's not wearing the exact same outfit from Elimination Chamber. Elimination Chamber outfit, it was like a leather jacket, and it had like a yellow stripe down the side. I mean, it was along the same lines of the same outfit. I don't know. I think it's a cool outfit. I want one. So, you know.
So you can wear it all the time?
Yeah, then I can
and not change?
Yeah.
Like she's doing?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Then I'll just become Becky Lynch. When I went to the Royal Rumble, she initially selling.
Yeah, that's what
wrong
I said
knee.
during the Rumble. I said that because I had said she's like grabbing. It's the left one that's hurt, right? That they're using.
It was the same clothes as the signing. Whatever, you know. It was the same clothes, pretty much the same clothes as the Elimination Chamber too. So it's fine. She only packed one outfit. So
yeah,
that's what we're just
during the
say.
Rumble. I said that she was holding the right. I think it was the right knee. The left knee's hurt, right? Or is it the right knee that's hurt?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
It's one of her knees.
One of the knees. Anyway, I had said something about one of the knees. She grabbed the one knee, and then when they went back to her, she grabbed the other knee. And I was like, that's weird, because it was the other knee that was hurt, and now she's grabbing the other one.
I don't know. Again, this is why I said I don't think the injury is entirely real, but I don't think it's fake either. I don't think
it is the Kill Bill outfit.
So you know what I mean? Where it's like I said, I don't think it's entirely fake. It's hard telling. Yellow stripes used to mean someone's a coward. Stop. Right there, Bendy. I'm sorry, I don't allow comments like that. I won't allow it.
But it's funny.
So, you know, I don't know. Like I said, I don't think it's like entirely real, but I also don't think it's entirely fake. I mean, there might be something there where it's like minorly injured.
Could
but
be.
You know, I've had enough knee injuries in my life.
Definitely.
So, well, leg injuries. You know, so I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I still think it's
like I said,
but
it could be
total
mostly
storyline.
storyline, but like I said, there could be like a minor injury or something where they're just trying to keep her out of the ring for a little longer, and then they're gonna bring her back for Mania.
Yeah.
You know.
So Ronda Rousey calls out Vince, and rather than have Vince come, that's someone else I was missing tonight.
Vince.
Yeah.
Through the whole thing, and it's Ric Flair's birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Who knows?
So anyway, Ronda Rousey calls out Vince, and Stephanie comes out in place of Vince.
Of course she does, because
and
Vince is a coward. Vince should be wearing yellow stripes, okay?
She basically tells Ronda that Becky Lynch has been arrested.
Well, first Ronda Rousey comes.
Vince was off with Charlotte somewhere, probably.
Making deals about Mania, signing contracts, you know.
So
who knows? So at first, Rousey, she says, "I want Becky Lynch reinstated because I want this to be over. I want this done." And then Stephanie was like, "I'm sorry, I can't do that. I'm not gonna do that." Becky Lynch, they're all styling and profiling. Becky Lynch did this to herself. She is the one who came in, got herself arrested, and she is now on her way to a jail. So, you know, she did this to herself, and there's nothing you can do about it. And she says, "Well, I want her reinstated because I want her." And you know, she then starts talking like, "It worked because if you go back and look when it first came out." Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean,
she
was going back, and she was like, it's when she was on her crutches, she wasn't putting any weight on it at all. But then she got into the ring, and she was on both, and was kind of just hobbling around. So, I mean, yeah, we're gonna say it's fake. But Steph then says, you know, you are more like Becky than you think. You and Becky are so alike because you both think you are so much bigger than WWE. This was after Rousey was like, "I demand you reinstate Becky Lynch." And she was like, "You demand? What? Do you know who you're talking to? I'm your boss." And then she went on to talk about how she thinks she's so much bigger. You both think you're so much bigger than WWE. And Ronda Rousey goes on to say, "You don't own me. I'm Ronda Rousey. I carry this title. I carry this belt. And it isn't even like my style, but I carry it because I show that this means something to me. This division means something to me, but you don't own me at all. I am Ronda Rousey. I am my own thing." And then she says, you know, Vince needs to make a decision. It's funny how the home police knew exactly where to handcuff Becky with the perfect camera angle. So
gotta sell it. Make it look good.
So then Rousey says, you know, Vince, you need to figure out what the right decision is. And she like holds her title in the air, and then she just lays it on the ground and walks away. And we're left with Stephanie McMahon in the ring with her title. I'm sitting there, I'm going, what? Huh? Like,
so if the title
that's not what I thought. You said when Stephanie first came out, you were like, she's gonna get decked.
Well,
she's gonna get decked, and then I said she's gonna be put in the armbar, and Rousey's gonna say, hey, she's gonna like, you know, have the mic or whatever, and she's gonna armbar her, and she's gonna be like, Vince, you want me to like not break your daughter's arm? Then reinstate Becky Lynch. Otherwise, guess what? Your daughter's gonna have a broken arm, and you can fix it. So that's what I said, and you were like, she's gonna get decked. And so that did not happen. And Ronda Rousey ended up walking away. So I was like,
well, I wonder when they're gonna. Well, and if the title doesn't mean that much, is it that important for Becky Lynch or Ronda Rousey? Maybe they're working on taking both of them out of the out of that and just having them as a match, and then giving the title to.
My mouth was probably open at that point. Yeah.
Giving
Mine's
the title to Flair, Or have
But
Flair
I don't
wrestle
like
somebody
that
for the title.
either. I don't like Flair being in the title spot because Flair's been in the title spot for so long. I just don't, I'm over it. I would much rather see, and I mean, Ronda Rousey's been in the title spot for a long time. Becky has been champion at multiple different times, but not in long periods. They don't have her hold the title as long as Charlotte has,
But
or
the
as
thing
long
is,
as
if they're going to
Rousey
make
has.
this so the title isn't as much of a big deal, then why, you know, if they're going to say this isn't a big deal, then why do it?
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, if it's all about the match, you don't need to have the belt up.
Rousey said that she wanted to face the best. She feels like the title should be defended against the best, or it has no prestige. She doesn't want to hold a worthless piece of trash. Yeah.
And I agree. So does that? But see, if
she wants to defend it against the best.
So then,
is she implying that Becky Lynch is the best?
Well, then do you have to face the best as the champion, or does it really matter if you just face the best, no matter what?
I mean, I don't know. If they take Becky and Rousey out of the match, a non-title will not main event, sadly. Yeah, see, that's the big thing, is they're trying to push this over as the big main event with Rousey and Flair right now. And right now that's in question because who knows if Rousey's even going to be holding the title when it comes to Mania. So...
Well, it's
this is a big match, and everybody was like, "Oh, well, it's the main event because it's the only big match that they have."
Well, I agree, but why
and for
have
a first
her,
ever women's main event, it's like you said, it's not going to mean anything if it's a non-title match.
I 100% agree, but if you're going to have her just lay down the title, no matter what, why are they having her lay down the title and say, you know, basically say, here, this really doesn't mean anything. I just need a match against a big name. I want to face the best.
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, that's kind of what
Maybe
I got out of the whole storyline was it's not about the title, it's about having the good match. So, does the title need to be up?
I feel like
I think in the
hold the Ronda figures now. Well, she's on a 2-year contract. Yeah. I believe is what it is. So, she's like not like leaving. That's not possible yet cuz she is on a 2-year contract. Whether or not she takes a break and just disappears for a while, who knows? I think the match will mean a lot even without a belt, but Vince wants that title to be in the main event. If not, it will be the Universal title that will take the spot.
I don't
want to see that.
Which is why I don't understand where they're headed with this storyline.
Okay,
I mean, right now, the whole storyline is like.
I just don't know.
No clue where they're going with it.
I think with new writers, maybe they're trying to transition to kind of a more, like, they kind of just scratched everything that was there before and then just redid it. Maybe that's what it is, and that's why it doesn't make sense right now, but it will, like, come next week or the week after. I mean, but we only have so many weeks until WrestleMania.
Well, you got time to create a storyline. It's just where are they going with it? I mean, and maybe this is part of it to throw confusion in there so people think the title isn't that big a deal. And maybe Rousey comes out at SmackDown tomorrow or even Raw next week and says, hey, I want the title. I want to keep it, and goes from there. But, right now it looks like Rousey doesn't care about the title. It's about having the good matches. And Flair hasn't seemed too concerned,
Yes and no, but she has made it clear that she wants that championship. She'd be it's her first time it would be her first time as Raw champion. I actually believe that that they will take Becky out of Mania. She has WrestleMania merch.
Yeah.
Hashtag refund.
Yeah. Well, and look at what they've done with the titles. The tag team titles mean nothing.
They're a joke.
On
both brands.
Asuka is a champion, and
she lost to freaking Mandy Rose last week.
We just found out she's alive.
Yeah, we just found out that she's alive, and she is, like, willing to defend her title, but, she, like, got beat by Mandy Rose last week, which is, like, a total, like, what, huh? So, like, what?
Yeah, so, the titles right now.
The U.S. Championship, where the heck is R-Truth? R-Truth has taken a month-long vacation.
He's become Brock Lesnar.
Actually, they might say that, we just got back from Stamford, Connecticut at the thing, but Carmella didn't go with him.
Yeah. So
that makes no sense with their mixed match challenge because they won. They got a trip to go somewhere.
Well, the titles mean nothing right now.
And he's the champ, so, like, what? The only one that they're, like, and even then, the Intercontinental Championship was actually defended tonight. So, you know, it just doesn't, I don't know.
Yeah, so, anyway, we go to the back, and Stephanie and Triple H are, like, talking, and they seem concerned because the belt was dropped, and...
Well, Steph is holding the belt. She's walking around backstage with the belt.
If I was her, I would have just put my arms in the air and said, I'm the new champion.
I wouldn't want to see that either. So, I don't know. I'm questioning things left and right. R-Truth is going to say, as Universal Champion, I didn't think I had to show up. That would be so funny.
That'd be awesome.
And then, no. He'll be in the ring, and, like, Carmella will be with him and stuff, and he'll be like, as Universal Champion, I didn't think I had to show up. And then Carmella will, like, look at him and go, you're the U.S. champ, not the Universal. That's Brock Lesnar.
That would be good if he did
that. That would be so funny. Like, take a shot at Brock Lesnar. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
He deserves it. So then we have Jinder Mahal promo. He says that he challenged anyone who was invited to the Ric Flair birthday party to a match because he wasn't invited. Then Kurt Angle comes out, and to this I was like, what?
Yeah, no clue.
Like, I was like, oh, Johnny Gargano. Like, send Johnny Gargano out and have him wrestle. And, like, they sent Kurt Angle out. And so I was like, what? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it was just to get Kurt Angle on the show.
Well, I think it was just an impromptu match to kill time. And because they had 230 commercials earlier on and didn't know how to, like, work things, so they decided to just kind of throw this match out there.
I don't know, man. It wasn't great. So Kurt Angle did end up winning after he put on the ankle lock.
And then he continued to destroy the Singh brothers.
Yeah. I don't know. I just don't. It wasn't very good. It was filler, like you said.
Well, and
I don't understand why they're still. I don't know. I'm kind of overseeing Kurt Angle too.
Well, then why don't they just have set matches? Too many of these matches are just, whoa, hey. Well, yeah, you're going to have a match. In fact, that leads us to the next one, the Alexa Bliss moment of bliss. And the guest is Finn Balor. They're sitting there talking.
Talk about how Finn Balor won the championship belt.
Yes.
And then we were both like, so who's gonna interrupt them this week? And I was like, and when they said Finn Balor, I was like, oh, Bobby Lashley and Leo Rush, like,
so
100%, because
true
he
to
lost
form,
his title.
Leo Rush does interrupt.
He comes out.
And then Alexa Bliss decides that she's gonna put together a match and says, well, you'll have the match now. And
well, no, she was like, oh, well, Leo, sorry, you don't have time to go back and prepare for your match because your match is next. Yeah. And Leo was like, well, then I guess just play my music. I mean, I don't even know. And so I'm like, so when did Alexa, when was she given the match
the power to make a match?
She, like, has it, like, in her finger or something, like,
yeah.
Poof, you can have a match. So I'm just like, I don't know. I don't like what they're doing with Alexa right now, personally. I don't like the Moment of Bliss talk show. I think they should be utilizing her in a different way. I think she should be in the ring wrestling because she can. So
I love the talk show. I think if they just use it right, I think it could be good.
Well, I would.
But they're not doing it.
I don't. Yeah, like that's the thing. Like, I mean, if it was like a good talk show, like Heartbreak Hotel or something like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like
where if it was as good as that, it would be cool. But like, it's not, and so I don't like it.
Yes.
Very much.
I agree.
And
in the form it's being used right now, I don't
and
like it.
I think they should be using Alexa Bliss in the ring. Like, why are they not?
Unless she's not 100% healthy.
I mean, unless she's still injured, yeah. But she was in the Royal Rumble.
Well, she was, but I mean that, you know, Sasha Banks had been in matches too, but never really like got into physical contact, so to speak.
I don't know.
And so, you know, they could be doing that just to keep her out there.
I guess. So then we had a commercial, as per usual. KO was also not showcased today. Yeah.
Thank God.
So I don't know if you went back and saw our stream from SmackDown last week or NXT. I don't remember what it was. It was one of the streams last week, and it wasn't Raw, where they showed the Kevin Owens videos, And then I was like, okay, so here's the theory. They're talking about him being unhealthy. They're talking about him, you know, he's being cheap. He's eating pizza. He's not working out. He's this, that, and the other thing. And I was like, what if they're getting ready to lead into, like, a Daniel Bryan, Kevin Owens for Mania, maybe? But, like, Kofi Kingston, a lot of people are putting money on Kofi Kingston winning at Fastlane. So then that doesn't make any sense for if it was for the title, if Kevin Owens and Daniel Bryan have a match.
Yeah, I would say
because, like, you know what I mean? It's like that along that same storyline of where he's the exact opposite of Daniel Bryan.
Well,
and so, like, they could be setting up for a storyline for that. Well, it could be,
but just not knowing what they're going to do with Kevin Owens when he does come back. I mean, that's the big thing is when he does come back, what are they going to do with him?
Yeah.
And so, I mean, with what they've done with him, it looks like it could be like a Daniel Bryan, Kevin Owens thing, just because.
See, and I never thought about that
one's
until
eating healthy and one's like eating like
one's talking,
food.
Yeah, one's talking about like that whole, you know, good for the planet thing, and then you have Kevin Owens.
Yes.
So I don't know. I mean, do you have any thoughts on what they could be doing with Kevin Owens? Because I sure don't, except for that. So then we have we have another Ric Flair birthday video. This one was with Sting, who has not showed up on like TV like since he was inducted into the Hall of Fame.
He looks like I mean, just looking at him, he looks like he's in pretty good shape.
Yeah, I mean, it was really cool to see Sting, just because you haven't seen him in forever. Then we have the Finn Balor versus Lio Rush for the IC Championship, and there was a moment where I was like, Lio Rush is going to win. And I said, they're going to do, Lio Rush is going to win the belt. And then Bobby Lashley is going to, oh, I want to see KO and Balor for the IC title at Mania. That could be cool.
That'd be a good match.
That would be a really good match. But, Lashley, that's where I was going with this. Lashley, would then, if Lio Rush had won the title, Rush would go backstage and Lashley would, you know, come into it and be like, dude, let's go, like, right now, I want my title back. And, you know, like, Leo's gonna be like, no, sorry, I like being champion. Fight for it just like everybody else has to. And then they turn on each other. And that's what I was kind of thinking was gonna happen, but then it didn't.
Yeah,
Balor ended up winning.
I'm still waiting for them to completely split up.
Me too.
Like, dragging it out the way they've been dragging it out.
Well, then this goes into the next, well, I guess there were a couple things in between there that we'll talk about real quick. They had a Heavy Machinery and Ascension promo backstage.
No clue what they're doing here.
And,
what was the point of this?
Heavy Machinery's Otis ended up attacking, the two members of Ascension. What purpose? I don't know.
No clue.
I don't know either.
Unless they're just trying to prop up the tag team division and say, hey...
Well, we haven't seen the Ascension in forever.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is maybe they're just saying, hey, we do have some tag teams, we just don't ever use them.
So there was that. And then we had a recap of Roman Reigns from this evening, him announcing he was leukemia-free and he was in remission. And then we have Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush promo backstage. He's like, dude, like... I thought you were supposed to be there to, like, get my title match. Like, you were supposed to be getting it for me, but then you took the opportunity for yourself. And then, like, can I trust you? And he was like, yeah, you can trust me. And so, after that, we go to Bobby Lashley versus Braun Strowman. This wasn't even a match.
Yeah, because I'm not sure exactly what happened, who they decided won, or anything. It was like...
There was no winner.
Well, there was a match, and then Lashley got destroyed, and Lio Rush got destroyed, and then Braun Strowman walked back towards the dressing rooms.
Well, Braun Strowman attacked both of them. He took out Lashley first, and then
that's what I'm saying. Is you had this match, and then
Rush,
it's like Braun Strowman
and then it was over. He just left. He
so I don't know.
Put his arms in the air. He screamed, whether it was "get these hands" or whatever he said. It was really funny when Braun Strowman came out. My baby brother, he was running around in the kitchen, and I was chasing after him, yelling, "Get these hands!" and he was laughing hysterically. It was the funniest thing ever. I should like film that and put that on my Twitter.
Yeah.
Because it was funny. So, you know, I don't know what he yelled, but then he just went up the ramp. And so I was like, I don't know what they're doing with him.
I have no clue what was going on with the match.
Braun Strowman
didn't really turn into a match.
Well, Braun Strowman used to be like a big guy. You know what I mean?
He is a big guy. Oh, you mean like he was important and...
Yeah, like he used to be a big guy. No, he used to be like, he used to be a big, I don't know how to
like
explain
important.
it, except, yeah, important. Important, that's a good word. I should learn some new words. He used to be important. And, like, now he's not. And he used to be in the title spotlight, and he's not anymore. And so I don't know what they're going to do with him, like, going into Mania, whether they're just going to put him in, like, the Giant Battle Memorial Royale thing.
The Battle Memorial Royale.
The Battle... Andre the Giant...
Memorial Battle Royal.
Whatever. I said it, but it just wasn't in the right order. There's too many words. So... Maybe they put him in that, and he wins that, but I don't know. I mean, we've had oddball winners. Another thing that we didn't see tonight was another Mojo Rawley promo where he was talking to himself in the mirror. Was that shocking to anybody? Because I was like, I said this last night before bed. I said, I wonder what they're going to do with Mojo Rawley. I wonder where they're going to go with this. Because I'm kind of curious. And there was nothing. And I was like, well, okay. So that match ended up, like, not being a match at all, and I don't even know what happened there. Then we had a Seth Rollins interview backstage, talking about Roman Reigns and his return. And Strowman should go to SmackDown Live. They need to spread out the big guys. Brock, Drew, Lashley, Roman, Braun. Yeah, I would agree with that. I think they should. Well, with the draft coming up, I guess, it's in April.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's...
Well, what they do...
Is it after Mania or before Mania?
I don't know.
It's after Mania, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's after Mania. So, like, I don't know. I think with the draft, they should definitely move some of the, I think they should just move people. I thought what they were going to do is, before they announced when the draft was going to be, because I knew the draft was coming, I was like, well, maybe they're going to move, like, Becky Lynch to Raw, so then they can do, like, this whole storyline with Ronda Rousey and, like, makes more sense to where they're both on the same show. But then she just, like, kept coming over from SmackDown, so, I mean, I don't even know.
Well, I've said before, I wish they'd just do cross-promotion. Don't, like, do some cross-promotion stuff, because I think they'd get more out of it that way than what they're doing right now.
Yeah.
Right now, they don't use people, especially the tag team.
See, I mean, okay, so actually with that, Aleister Black and Ricochet, they weren't scheduled to be on, they didn't say anything about them being on Raw. They just said, like, AJ went against Battle. And you told me that, but I was like, but you didn't say they were going to be on Raw. You just said they were going to be on SmackDown, and you were like, oh,
but
yeah.
I saw something about them being on SmackDown.
So, that was, again, something where they just kind of showed up, and, like, they weren't...
Well, it didn't matter because they didn't show much of their match because of Temptation Island. So.
Yeah. So then we have a Seth Rollins interview, and he's backstage talking about Roman and everything that happened, this evening, and how he's so proud and whatever. And then we have Ric Flair and his wife. They show up. And then we get to the Dean Ambrose versus Drew McIntyre match. This is a no disqualification match. So Elias ended up getting involved in this match. This is funny. Elias ended up getting involved in this match, but I think it was after that. Drew McIntyre took Dean Ambrose's belt off, and he hit him with it. But then Dean Ambrose took off another belt that he had underneath of it, and when he pulled it out, there's still a third belt underneath.
I think Dean
how
Ambrose
many
had 37
belts
on.
does he have on? I mean, I'm just kind of curious. So they had that happen, and I thought that was kind of funny. They need to do a triple threat Survivor Series, NXT versus Raw versus SmackDown Live. Just imagine. I can't imagine that.
Cool.
That would be so cool. Bring in all of them,
Well, and then you get your NXT people pushed over onto the main, because right now I don't think any of the NXT guys right now are getting any type of push from a lot of the fans, and it just seems like they're just there.
Yeah.
And so I think that if they did something like that, that would give them an opportunity to be seen and to get over a little more, and people are going to go, hey, these are pretty cool. And I wonder if they aren't bringing these guys up to wrestle in the main show, because of NXT possibly having a TV deal coming
Well,
up.
see, that's what we thought the announcement was going to be on Wednesday. And then it wasn't. It was the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. So we were like, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of a letdown.
Like, I was really let down. I was like, they talked it up like it was going to be a big announcement. And then they were like, oh, it's a Dusty Rhodes Classic, which, you know, is cool, but, like, that's not what I was expecting.
Yeah.
Like, after we saw the guys on Raw and SmackDown, you know? Like,
yeah.
Huh? It just didn't make any sense to me. So Drew McIntyre ended up getting the win over Dean Ambrose. Then Baron Corbin and Bobby Lashley and Elias all come into the ring and attack Dean. This is when we see the Shield come out. We see Seth and Roman. They both come out to save Dean, I guess. Kind of.
Well, they did, and then I made the comment. They turned around. They
got out of the ring.
Yeah,
and then they walked up the ramp, and you were like,
I was expecting them to like go over and help Dean Ambrose up and like say, "Are you okay?" But no, they turn around and just get out of the ring.
They turn out and they just walk up the ramp, and you were like, "They're just gonna leave him there.
They're just gonna leave him in the ring, aren't they?"
And it was the funniest thing ever.
And
then you see Dean Ambrose like start to get up and like look around, and they're like at the top of the ramp, like looking at each other. And so I thought we were gonna see Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. They were like gonna do their Shield thing where they do their hands, and they put them together, the fists.
I wanted Dean
Hounds
Ambrose.
of Justice.
I wanted Dean Ambrose to grab a mic.
Get a mic. And
hey, it's about time you guys showed up.
That would have been so funny. Last week's segment, it just killed me. The Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose backstage with, where were you out there? Like,
yeah.
You were, Seth Rollins was like, are you out of your mind? And he just like looked around and was like,
yeah.
Hmm?
So, it was,
and he
it
just
was
like,
good...
he walked away. It was like, they're giving him such good segments that are so funny right now.
This is part of why Dean Ambrose is like becoming one of my favorites, is just because of the segments he's had and what he's done.
It'd be so
lately.
sad to see him leave because he's doing such a good job with it right now. And I mean, maybe that's just like, you know, give it one last hurrah and do it to the best of my ability. And then I'm going to say, hey, you know, I've loved doing this, but I just need a break, you know?
And
I mean, maybe that's what he's going to do. But I don't know. I feel like he's just doing really well. And it just kind of makes me go, huh.
Yeah. Well, and his facial expressions like never change.
He's so funny.
He just looks so serious when he says it all.
It's so funny.
And just the way he says it and his whole mannerism is like cool.
He's so funny. So they end up leaving the ring, and then we go to another commercial break, and we come back, and
Imagine that, a commercial break.
It was probably Temptation Island. I don't remember at this point. So then we have Bayley versus Nia Jax. They did announce right before that Nia and Tamina versus Sasha and Bayley will be happening at Fastlane. You guys should do a fantasy booking show together. One gets Raw and one gets SmackDown. Do a draft, weekly shows, and pay-per-views.
We've talked about various things that we're working on. We're just not sure where we're going to go with things yet.
Yeah.
So,
maybe
that could be something that could be
happening in the future.
In the works.
So they did announce Nia and Tamina versus Sasha and Bayley at Fastlane. I thought this was going to be for Mania, honestly. So now I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen at Mania. If they retain the titles, who do they go on to face? And then I said Io Shirai and Kairi Sane could come up and win the titles at Mania from being down at NXT.
If Nia Jax and Tamina, I think what's going to happen, here's what I think. Nia Jax and Tamina are going to split up at some point in time. Tamina is going to get tired of being in Nia Jax's shadow because right now she just overshadows her so much. I think that eventually they're going to split up and you will see a Nia Jax Tamina feud.
I would agree with that.
Whether that happens here at Fastlane and then we go into WrestleMania and they fight each other, or whether it's after Mania that it happens, but I think you're going to see them split up. Because Tamina right now is in the shadows of everything Nia Jax does. I mean, even tonight, you look at the match tonight.
I mean, yeah, it was a singles match, but...
Well, and Nia Jax basically overshadowed Tamina.
It was Nia Jax. It wasn't Tamina versus Bayley. It was Nia.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But Nia Jax is out there. She's the one that's out there and in front of everybody.
And I mean, it might just be because Nia is bigger with the fan base, I guess, than Tamina.
Well, she's better. I think she's a little better on the mic than Tamina.
Yeah.
And so that helps.
And I mean, Tamina, I feel like you don't give Tamina the opportunity, so she doesn't get to showcase.
Which is why I think that they get thrown a storyline where they split up and they have a feud.
Yeah. So where is I going with this? Oh, tag teams, WrestleMania. Got it. So after they announced this, I was like, okay, so what would we do going into Mania? And then I said, well, we had talked about this before. We talked about Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch teaming up and being a tag team, which is always a possibility. You know, so I don't know. I mean, I think maybe I definitely think that they're still going to have some sort of capacity of a match at Mania, whether it's for the title or if it's not. I don't know, but I think they're still going to have a match at Mania. I think Becky Lynch, over the next couple weeks, I think she'll be reinstated, but I don't know.
Yeah,
that might
I think
like
it's possible. And there's a lot of ways they can go right now because of how they kind of set these storylines.
And then, like, because of the fact that Stephanie McMahon talked about how, oh, well, you both think that you are so much bigger. You and Becky are so much more alike than you think. You both think you are so much bigger than WWE, and you're not. That kind of maybe makes me think, like, hinting at a tag team maybe later on. Because they are alike or whatever.
Yeah.
Where they both have that, you know, bigger, larger-than-life personality.
And maybe that's what they're going to do. They're going to have them battle for the tag team titles.
At Mania.
Okay, no, they're not. I was just kidding. That's not going to happen.
I still think it's going to be, whether Charlotte is involved or not, and it's for the title, I don't know. But I think we're still going to see Ronda Rousey versus Becky Lynch. And I still think it could be the main event.
I think so, too.
Just because of how big it is.
And although, now that Roman Reigns is back, maybe they...
Okay, so there was another thought thrown around that maybe Dean Ambrose versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. And that's Dean Ambrose's, like, last match. He's done after that.
I don't see that happening.
Again, it's just another rumor, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't see that happening.
There was another one, actually, that I saw when I was just scrolling through my Twitter feed. It was Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins with Roman Reigns as the guest referee.
That'd be interesting.
Just to see how that would go.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
I mean, I don't know. Because, I mean, Brock Lesnar. Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar have a lot of history, and Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns have a lot of history.
The only issue
Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar have a lot of history.
Well, and the only issue I have with some of these is it's just the same thing repeat over and over again with what they're going, you know. With
Roman Reigns being back in the mix, it throws a wrench in it. But definitely, I think there's still a really good shot that the women's match is going to be main event. Just because I think they're making a really big deal out of the first ever women's, like, on WrestleMania, the first ever women's main eventing match.
Yeah, I think so too.
So that's kind of where
the main event.
I see they're going with that. So Bayley wins after she hits an elbow from the top rope to pin Nia. And then we have Ric Flair's birthday celebration thing. This 100% does not go the way I thought it was going to be.
No.
So.
Although I did think somebody was going to attack Ric Flair. I thought that was going to happen.
I did too. Well, I thought
was going to do
okay,
it.
so I had two different, you know, I had Becky and Ronda. That's who I thought it was going to be, one of the two that was going to beat up Ric Flair. I thought it was going to be Becky at first. Just because, you know, she was going to beat him up and then talk about, you know, or Charlotte was going to come out and talk about how she wanted Becky reinstated. But then earlier in the show, Rousey talked about she wants Lynch reinstated. So then I thought Rousey was going to come out and she was going to be backstage and she was going to have, like, Ric Flair in an armbar and be like, you want me to let him go? It was along the same lines of what I said was going to happen with Stephanie McMahon, was she was going to be like, you want me to let him go, then reinstate Becky Lynch. Otherwise, I'm going to break his arm.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, one of the two. And then I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, it didn't go anyway. So they.
Well, I thought they were gonna. I thought by the end of the show they were gonna bring Becky Lynch back because I feel like they just like.
Well, we've seen.
That's the way it's happened with like Steve Austin and stuff like that when like they've been arrested.
We've seen plenty of people.
They've been back.
Yeah, I was gonna say we've seen plenty of people get arrested.
There were so many people on Twitter. I was scrolling through my feed and they were like, "All right, so what do you think Becky Lynch is gonna come back drive? What's she gonna drive in with?" I think it was Wrestling Inc. They were like, she's gonna come in a Zamboni, and she's just gonna roll down the stage. And then one other one was a cement truck. And I thought it was really funny because they were making jokes during the Kurt Angle match about a milk truck.
Yeah.
And so that's why I was kind of like, hinting at
maybe
later in the evening.
Maybe it's gonna happen, yeah.
You know, just ruin the birthday celebration. Pour milk on everybody.
Yeah.
That would be so funny. Why did they not do that? So that didn't happen. It's not the way I thought it was going to go at all. So Stephanie and Triple H, they come out to the ring and they, you know, talk about Ric Flair in the evening and they show a video talking about Ric Flair and everything he's done. And then they unveil this, like, belt that they had specialty made for Ric Flair.
First off, okay, here's the odd thing, okay? You have all these guys standing up on the stage, like, literally up on the stage. They're not down in the ring. They call out Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Sting,
Kurt Angle, which I was like,
Kurt Angle, which I had no clue why.
He didn't even do anything with Ric Flair. Like, I don't remember him doing anything with Ric Flair.
So they call all these guys out, and everybody else is standing up on the stage. Wouldn't you think they would all be down by the ring?
and Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, Shawn
Michaels was the other one. They brought him out because of he was the one who beat Ric Flair for the retirement match.
So wouldn't you think they'd all be down by the ring where, you know, Ric Flair is going to be coming down the ring? No, they have them all standing up on the stage, and everybody else is...
No, I didn't.
I have not seen it, no.
The WWE made it about the Quiet Raw crowd.
We will have to check that out.
I did not see that. Anyways, continue on with your thought.
So, why did they have all these guys standing up on the stage rather than down by the ring where, you know, the whole celebration was taking place?
I don't know.
Did not understand that at all.
So we're going on about this, and then they call Ric Flair's name, and they show the custom belt, and the belt is like it's just like his championship belt, World Heavyweight Championship belt they had before Universal Championship belt. And I was scrolling through Twitter afterwards, and they were like, I wish they just unveiled that as the new Universal Championship belt, and then they could have brought Brock Lesnar out and was like, hand over the Universal belt. It's being switched for this.
That Lafayette crowd was terrible. I mean, like, really bad. And I don't know if they need to not ever go back there again, because that was one of the worst crowds.
Wait, which one was that?
Last week. When we were talking about, we talked about how bad they were and how much there was no pop at all. There was no crowd excitement.
And that
it's
was
like
the
they
day
were
they
all
brought
sitting
in
on their
like the
butts
NXT.
the whole time.
That's when they brought in the NXT guys, and like so it didn't make any sense to me. Like it didn't get they didn't get as big of a pop.
There was no pop because that crowd was one of the worst crowds ever. And
I don't know, man.
I don't know, you know.
That's the title of the video. Okay. We'll have to look at that.
Yeah, we'll have to look at that. But that crowd was terrible.
That was it was bad. So they show this custom belt, and it's just like the world heavyweight belt that he used to hold. And then they play his music, and they're like waiting. And I said this the second his music played. I said he's not going to come out. Didn't I say that?
You did.
I said he's not coming out. And so like it goes through like 3 times, and the superstars that are standing at the top are just like looking like, okay, where is he? Like, and everybody's like clapping, and then the clapping is just like non-existent. And then he doesn't show up, and they go backstage, and there's camera, and then I was like, what the heck? I was like standing there, I was like, this is not, what? And then they got closer, and I was like, oh my god, it's Batista! And I was like I had no words. I was like, that's Batista. Like, Batista hasn't been seen in WWE in, like, years. what? Well, I mean, except for the SmackDown.
Well, I guess
show
that kind
thing.
of like eliminates him from going to AEW.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, not what I thought. So he's backstage and he like goes into Maven, LOL. Thank you. Yes, it probably got really loud. So he's backstage and he goes into Ric Flair's like dressing room or whatever, locker room, his own personal locker room. And
because Ric Flair needed his own personal locker room since all he was doing was showing up to like have his birthday. It wasn't like he was changing or anything.
So he goes in, he like pulls the camera guy, he's like, stare right here, Maven's face. Legit. Me. Right there. That emoji, that was me.
Yes.
So he's got the camera dude, he's like, don't go anywhere. And so he goes in the room and then he like slams the door shut. And then he comes out and you hear like clink, 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 clink. Just like that. And then he pulls him out and he's like dead looking and he's like laying there and he's like, Hunter, did I get your attention this time? And I'm like, or he said, do I have your attention now, Hunter? And then we see Hunter in the ring. He comes out and he like runs up the stage, and when he gets backstage, there's no Batista. And I'm like, what did I just watch? Because that's not what I thought was going to happen.
Yes. So obviously that means that Batista is not going to AEW.
So shut those rumors down right now.
Overall, I would say this was probably a B for a Raw.
I would agree with that. Maybe an A minus.
I don't know, because, there was, like, the commercials in the one part. There was a lot of, like, the Braun Strowman match that ended up not being a match. There was a lot of, like, impromptu matches. I just think that, they could have done a lot more with it. I think it was better than it has been. They did throw a twist in there at the end that I was not expecting. So I think that made it better.
Yeah.
I thought the beginning was really good with Roman Reigns.
Sorry about that.
So, and then the Becky Lynch storyline in there I thought was really good. So overall, I thought this was one of their better Raws that they've had in a while.
Yeah.
Still could do some stuff to make it better, but I thought it was definitely a better show.
So this is actually funny. I'm scrolling through Twitter right now, and it says, this is from WWE. It says exclusive. Jinder Mahal got to come to Ric Flair's birthday party after all when Raw went off the air. And so Jinder Mahal comes down to the ring, looking at this video. He comes down to the ring, and he's doing his dancing thing, and his music's playing. And then the Hall of Famer guys are still in the ring that were there before. And they're like dancing with him until they just like throw him into the cake.
Yeah.
That's funny. So
I suppose.
That did not go the way I thought it was going to. Sorry, I'll finish my thoughts here too because I was looking for videos and stuff to make sure Ric Flair wasn't pronounced dead or something after Batista knocked him out. So. That didn't go the way I thought it was going to?
No.
I thought we were going to see Becky Lynch again. I thought we were going to see Ronda Rousey again. They just kind of left it there, and now I'm like, what's happening? Like, is she going to get the title back? Is she going to continue being the champ? Is Becky Lynch going to be reinstated? What's happening with Batista? I really don't know, because, what I do know is I think they're going to have a match at Mania, Triple H and Batista.
Yeah, I think it's possible.
I
think that's where we're headed.
Thinking about that, they wouldn't make that the main event, would they?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think
so.
But
I think they will have a match. I think Batista and Triple H will have a match at Mania.
I am. What are your Twitters? I am at Maven Gleen.
I am Mr. _Gleen. And then we have the Wrestle story all ran together.
Yeah. That's like the channel's Twitter, but those are like our Twitters.
Yes.
And I believe in our outro that we play, and we'll play in just a few minutes when we're done here. It'll show our
outro here just a
Twitters, so then you can double check that. So I don't know what they're doing. I'm hoping to see Becky Lynch tomorrow. Then we just kind of get some like we resolve some things. But I don't know. maybe Batista shows up on SmackDown tomorrow, like you said earlier. You were like, oh, he just goes wreaks havoc on everything.
Well, now that he's back, he might. I mean, that might be something he does. Is decides
I mean, I just don't know.
Like, go nuts and crazy on him, and we'll see from there.
So I don't know. I'm curious to see what happens.
Definitely curious to see what happens.
I was like, over the weekend, I was like, oh, I don't have anything to watch. So I was going back and watching all the Raw and SmackDowns from like back from Survivor Series when this whole Becky and Ronda Rousey thing like started, because that's when it started, was back at Survivor Series, and it's been like going strong since then. Yep. And so I'm wondering what they're doing with it. And you know.
All right. We'll end our stream there.
We have to wait a whole week for Raw next week. This is dumb. They should just have Raw every single day.
Well, you got SmackDown tomorrow, so don't worry about it. And then NXT the next day, and we haven't seen the spoilers for NXT, so we don't have to worry about that. Don't go look for them. We're going to end the stream. Again, we are on Mondays after Raw, Tuesdays after SmackDown, Wednesdays after NXT. We are on every
pay-per-view.
After every pay-per-view, and then we usually do a prediction show either the Friday or Saturday, depending on whether there's an NXT takeover. We'll do a prediction show.
Next pay-per-view is March 10th, and that is Fastlane. So we will be doing that. That's coming in 2 weeks.
Yes.
2 weeks from Sunday. That's crazy, because I feel like, I mean, we just had Elimination Chamber was only like a week ago.
Yep.
And so that's...
Time flies by.
It's nuts. Also, you know, during the week, sometimes if you're lucky, we do extra streams.
If we see some information, we'll go down here.
Pop on here. If we have enough of it, we'll pop on here and talk about it. If not, then we'll just kind of maybe make a tweet or something on Twitter.
Make sure you tell all your friends about us.
Yeah, and make sure to subscribe.
Hit that
subscribe and hit the notification bell so then you're notified.
And
every time.
Then you know when we are going live.
Yep.
So, with that, I think we are going to take off.
Yeah.
Peace out. Stick around. I'll have my Twitter stuff coming up here later.
So we will see you all tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye, guys.